So I've had a few weeks with the T7i and let some things sink in and kind of got a feel for some of the things that I would do differently if I was to do it again. And believe me, there are a couple things, but there are four main things that I'd like to touch base on. These are very important things you definitely want to consider before buying it. First off is the bag. When you buy your bag, you definitely want to get a bag that is large enough to hold the camera and potentially new lenses or anything else you're going to add. For example, this is the bag I bought. It is low pro right here, and it's around that price at Best Buy where I buy everything. I'm not affiliated with anything. I don't have any money I'm making off this. This is strictly me talking to you and telling you about some products that I'm excited about, and I enjoy doing this. So this bag right here, now let me explain what I'm talking about. As you can see the size of it here, okay, it looks fairly big, but looks can be deceiving. This is the lens that I'm currently keeping in there with the lens hood on. I showed this in previous videos, but when the camera is in here with this lens and the lens hood, obviously it all doesn't fit. So I have got to take the lens hood off every single time and readjust everything to fit into the bag. Total pain. I wish I would have thought that out a little better. So number one, I would definitely say consider the size of the bag you're going to get, because it's probably not big enough originally, the first one you're planning on. So number two, now this is probably the most important thing that I didn't consider that I would definitely recommend anybody doing. A lot of these bags have these right here, if you can see that, built-in memory card. I would recommend carrying extra memory cards. This one here, and when it comes to carrying extras, I would recommend the high speed, but any will do. This is just a little 8 gig, very basic, cheapo one that I bought in a pinch, and I keep it as a backup just in case I forget my main one. But yeah, trust me, you don't want to be stuck in a situation where you're out there ready to shoot and you pull out your camera and you're all excited and you forgot the memory card. Your camera is completely pointless at this point. With no memory card, there's no internal memory. It's basically a paperweight. Potentially you can zoom in and out of and look at something. It's an expensive pair of binoculars. Number two thing I would definitely recommend, extra SD cards, because without them your camera is worthless. The third thing that I would recommend when you're going to shoot is to consider what devices you're going to be using for playback. What I mean is, if you're going to shoot 1080p 60 frames per second, not every device can play 1080p 60 frames per second back. Some TVs can't play it. Actually, a lot of TVs can't play it. Your DVD players, Blu-ray players, things of that nature will not play 1080p 60 frames per second. If you put it on a USB, plug it in and go to play it, it'll usually say file not supported or codec not supported. Now if you're uploading it to YouTube, obviously YouTube has its own system where it determines the best playback. So if you're uploading it to YouTube, that's fine, because that'll readjust the resolution down to whatever will fit that device. Most smartphones will play it. So that's something to consider. There are workarounds if you make the mistake of filming at 1080p 60 frames per second and you realize that the device you want to play it on doesn't do that. There's some third-party software you can buy, such as Movavi, even Windows, built-in Windows Movie Editor, or what is that, Movie Maker. I believe that's still in Windows 10. That's a mistake I learned on an older Samsung TV. I tried to play at 1080p at 60 frames per second and not supported, and I had a room full of people and I was all excited and blah, nothing. So keep that in mind. So lastly, I want to touch base on something that's very important going into the buying process that I had considered and I wanted to do but I didn't follow through with because I didn't have the patience, and that is deciding which lens you're gonna get when you buy the T7i. What I mean by that is you have the option of the standard kit lens, which I'm shooting with, the 18 by 55 millimeter. Then for like an extra $400, you have the new option for this, which is currently on sale here at Best Buy, which is a phenomenal price. I wish this was available for me. I would have went this option, but right now I think it's saved $250. Yeah, that's a great deal right now. I'm shooting this Memorial Day, coming up to Memorial Day, so I don't know how long this sale is going to be going on. And again, I am not affiliated with Best Buy, but that's a good deal. Now the option that I was talking about originally that I wanted to go with was to buy this, the body only, and then add this lens here, the Tamron 18 by 200 all-in-one lens, so that way I wouldn't have to interchange the lenses. And if you look at the two price points, it's almost as cheap as this here with the standard kit lens. So for just a little bit more, these two here get you the 18 to 200 millimeter, so you don't have to fiddle around and change lenses. Going back, I wish I would have done that instead, but they didn't have that available. I buy all my stuff at Best Buy, some stuff on Amazon, but mostly Best Buy. It wasn't available. I don't have the patience to wait, so I just bought this. I wish I would have waited. It was like 6 days for that 18 to 200 Tamron, because changing it out, I'm happy with these lenses, don't get me wrong, but changing it out is a total pain. Okay, so let's break that down again. One, definitely get the right size bag. If you find a bag you're comfortable with, consider the fact that you're probably going to be adding lenses and other stuff to it, so you may want to go a little bigger. I'm stuck with a smaller bag and I'm having trouble fitting everything in, and I got to dismantle some of the lenses. So one, consider the bag. Two, always keep an SD card in your bag, an extra SD card, maybe two. Just keep SD cards laying around, because you do not want to get stuck somewhere like I did without an SD card, with everything ready to go. Number three, keep in mind what devices you are going to be playing your videos back on, because not every device out there supports 1080p at 60 frames per second. As a matter of fact, like I said, right now I'd say more devices don't support it than do. Now if you're uploading to YouTube, like I said, that's fine. Just keep that in mind. It'll save you a lot of steps as far as reformatting and all that. And lastly, consider your lens options. Consider what you plan on shooting before you buy the camera and the lenses. Like I said, the Tamron right here, 18 by 200 all-in-one, right there's that price. Best Buy, $199 right now, $50. I think it's been $50 off since I was looking, but they didn't have it in stock and I couldn't wait. I may still get that, to be able to go out, not change the lenses and still zoom that far would be great right now, because the switching around is a pain in the butt. So those four things, based on my brief experience with the camera, are four things that I wish I would have done differently in a lot of ways, and that I would recommend to you to think about. And like I said, I'm not affiliated with any of this. I'm not asking for anything. I'm not selling anything. I'm just happy to be sharing this information, because this is a passion of mine and it's a lot of fun. So again, hopefully you found this video helpful. I plan on posting more as I learn more, and thanks for watching. If you really like this, please let me know and give me a like, and I'd be more than thrilled if you'd subscribe to our channel. Alright, thank you. We'll see you again.